Yoni, brother.
Hey,
dude.
what the fuck's good, man?
What the fuck is good? It's good now. Dude, it's your show, man. You say what you want to say.
I'm dead.
Yeah, dude, it's good to see you right out the gate, eh?
Yeah,
dude, it's
man.
great to see you, man. I've had a few like good people that I know tell me a lot about you. I've been kind of keeping tabs on you since a mutual friend kind of introduced me to you and what you do, and just seeing you grow is really, really cool. So I'm really grateful you're able to give me your time today so I could pick your brain on
That's cool,
creativity
man.
And stuff and music. So yeah, brother, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I've been seeing you do your thing for a minute and like growing and bro, like crazy guests. Like we already kind of had the discussion, but like, man, I always like to see people doing their thing. So
dude,
fucking
amazing.
Mutual respect, man.
Thank
yeah,
you,
bro.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
There is something to say though about that, where a lot of people nowadays don't do kind of what they want to do, and I don't know if it has just like if it's just a people thing or a social thing, or if it's like where you live plays a big factor, just with how difficult things are when you come out of a small city or a cold city, right? You're not in California, like it's not really a hub. Like Sudbury isn't, I wouldn't really say a hub for most things, right? Unless you work underground, in which case a hub for depression, seasonal depression. But whatever, that's just my thought process. So take us through, kind of introduce yourself in a way of, take me through from kind of high school, your journey from then to your transition all the way up to where we are now. So kind of take us through that process.
Okay, so okay, we're going back all the way to high school, man.
Back in the good old days.
Yeah, okay, so high school, I was, just kind of your basic run-of-the-mill kid, I'd say, just fucking... I treat high school was like almost like a joke to me, man. I didn't, whatever. I was just going through the motions, just trying to have fun. My parents were always super serious, like fucking when it came to studying and stuff like that. So I was doing all my work at home, but once I got to high school, I was really like just having fun. Like I didn't care exactly. But once you have that first year when you're in college, it like kind of reality sets in.
Yeah, the first year is a write-off. Like,
it's kind of the same vibe as high school, but then you're like, oh, there's like an end to this, like you don't know what you want to do. Right. But even like back, you remember when they used to do those like little like high school like it was like those like, I don't know, it's like some sort of testing they would make you do to like find out what your future career might be. Yeah,
dude. And you fill it out like on the computer.
Exactly.
It's like an hour worth of like multiple choice questions.
Every time, and it's every like those tests are just designed. You pick what you want, and it would be sometimes it'd be like the craziest thing. It would be like fucking I don't know, some like crazy fighter pilot or something, like just something like stupid. But, bro, mine was always music producer, bro, because that's
every time
in my wildest like shit. That's what I really wanted to do,
right?
Because man, I would like look up to like Pharrell and like Timbaland, like the guys who were making the records for these big artists, and it was like the same names popping up,
Interesting.
So. And they all had like interesting stuff about like how they did stuff, and my like family like listened to music all across the board. Like even like my parents are African. I was listening to African music.
Oh jeez.
My brothers like for a little bit were in a punk band, so listened to that type of stuff. Hip hop, just crazy, and like they were listening to Pac, Biggie, like all those guys. And my sisters were like pop like type music and stuff, so I was watching like Much Music like every day, like so whatever. I'd pay attention, I'd listen to that, and I was like also learning on my own a little bit, like just I didn't know like instruments like completely, but I took like a little lesson here and there, So, yeah, man, it was always a thing, and then one of my good friends was just like, because I was like, oh, like I always want to learn that. He's like, well, what does it take to start? And then I was like, I knew exactly what it took, but I never took the own steps. Until he's like, well, let's get in the room, let's try it out.
Let's figure it out. Yeah.
We did. He wasn't that into it, but I just never stopped after that.
Amazing.
We were doing it in the dorm rooms. That's where I think I first started, and then, dude, I started doing it like, really like. I treated it like almost like as it was schoolwork. I
Yeah.
needed to do it like for an hour, 2 hours each day, just so I could like get something that's good enough, and then
Like, just develop that skill, eh?
yeah, bro, because I fucking sucked at the start, man. I was bad. I was bad, bro. I used to show people too. I used to be like, hey, man, check this out. They're like,
I used to show people, and it was bad.
yeah, yo, they used to be like, yo, this sounds like Minecraft music. I was like,
You're
okay.
like, oh, that's not what I'm going for.
I was like, yo, I thought
But
the
like,
weekend
thanks.
could hop on this.
Amazing. I shouldn't laugh like that.
No, it's
But-
okay.
Oh, that's
Trust
funny.
me, I would laugh at myself if I came up to be like that too, you know.
Jeez. What was that first day like? Like when the two of you first like got started doing it. Like
It
take
was
me through
like-
that.
It was cool. Also, like, you know, like, whenever you see like people in the studio, like any video of like somebody like you like idolize, right?
Yeah.
It's just like clockwork, you know. They're just doing shit like right away, one after
Yeah.
another. They're like on the piano going crazy.
They know their
da-da-da-da.
thing, yeah.
So you think that's gonna be you. Nah, yo, it's not. We're like trying to figure out how to like actually pull up an instrument and stuff. So whatever, we got it to a point where we like I could play like a few chords and
Yeah.
stuff and record it, and then there'd already be like pre-made beats on like, I think we started off on Logic,
Okay.
which is like GarageBand, I guess, same
Yeah.
type of stuff on Mac.
Oh, okay.
So anybody can make a beat on GarageBand. It doesn't
Yeah.
take much. So started like that, and then I got to the thing I use now, FL Studio, and then you know we escalated to using microphones and speakers, and
Yeah.
then I was just like, it got to the point where in school I was doing it so much, I was doing it in class and stuff, and then I was like, why? I'm like, I was in biotechnology at first, and I was like, I just straight up didn't want to do biotech. I knew I wanted to do the music thing.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to go about it, but I knew I didn't want to do that, so I had a conversation with my parents. I was like,
Yeah.
I need to get out of this program. I need to start doing this. And then they're like, okay, whatever you need to do. But they're like,
But like, whoa,
get your ass to work.
Yeah.
You know?
Pay your bills, get out of my house.
Exactly.
They get out of my house. They're like, yo, we got you this far. Figure it out. Fuck. Oh, that's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
Interesting, dude.
Yeah.
So, what I want to know then, as you grow, what I saw that was really cool, not to say caught me off guard, but I guess I didn't expect this. I saw everybody did their 2021 year-end wrap-up. You want to hear something really funny about that? So, and I mean everybody did it.
Yeah,
Everybody. But here's the thing, you did it different though, right? You did different where you posted, you're like, this is how much everybody listen to my shit, not whose shit I listen to.
Oh, yeah.
So you kept the light shining on you, and I was like, amazing. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
fucking do the same
when
thing.
When you're an artist, bro, you gotta, man, that's like a weird thing, is like, because I feel like, bro, especially like Canadians, especially being like Northern Ontario Canadian
Yeah,
dudes,
like very Canadian.
bro, everybody, like, it's almost like, if you big up yourself a little bit, man,
Yeah.
like I don't know, something in you is like, oh, this is the worst. Like, it's like trying to like almost resembles being cocky, but bro, I put a lot of work into what I do.
For sure, man.
Like, all the other people too, and like, it was cool this year, because this year, man, I used to spend money on promo and stuff, and this year, no promo, and it was like
2021, like the year that kind of were.
yeah, the whole thing, and I upped last year when I was doing promo, which is like, to me, is crazy.
Dude,
'cause I'm like,
amazing.
yeah,
Congrats.
and like, so the next
Jeez.
step is like trying to figure out like kind of both sides and mixing them together like naturally,
For sure. Now, why do you think that happened? Where you stop, you know what I mean? Like when you stop pushing it and promoting it, and it's doing better than when you were actually, why do you think that is? What do you have to attribute that to? You think just more consistency, or?
Yeah, I'd say consistency. I release like probably twice as much as music that I had before.
Mm-hmm.
And then also collaborating I didn't really collaborate as much as I did now. So I did in the summertime. I did an EP with Cole King. Yeah. You know him.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, so
love the guy, funny guy.
Yeah, his brother, who's they're just talented dudes, man.
Yeah,
out of nowhere, man. These guys come to my studio one time.
Next time I'm at the gym, when I see him, I'm gonna ask him to freestyle, just because.
On point. He won't do it though. I don't know.
No, he won't. He wouldn't. He doesn't strike me like that type of kid.
No.
He's like, no. I'll hold my microphone.
He's in the studio.
I'll get in the microphone and be like, here.
That's it.
I'm bringing him a video.
Just ambush him with the camera. That's it. But yeah, man, him and Morgan V, who's just crazy talented singer, and Sudbury, probably the best singer out here in my opinion. Jeez. Did a collaborative kind of EP with them, and one of the songs did you never know what songs are gonna do really good, but one of the songs, man, it's called Get Down, and bro, a lot people, it was weird, man. People in my hometown were playing it at the local bar there and stuff like that, and blast. My friends were going crazy. So that, I was seeing plays over the world. I was like, I don't that was no promo on that anything, but it was it was just. I guess it was a switch up because it was me. I mostly do hip hop, maybe R&B, pop, or let's say more Afrobeat type records.
Interesting.
But that one was a pop record.
Oh, okay.
And for some reason, people do pop records in the summertime.
Yeah, that's true.
Something about it, man. It just that one popped off for people, so. I guess that one kind of got people excited, and then...
Dude, that's cool, man.
So, yeah, it's cool,
that's wild.
Bro, I just wish I knew what... Dude, I used to never get when artists were I don't know why this one was a hit, but everybody just liked it one. But, that's music, I guess, because, man, this happens to a couple of my other records where I'm I have this one record called SMD.
Yeah.
If I get what it is,
Yeah.
Bro, man, people love that song. I didn't think people would actually like that song because I was just talking shit in it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But people that was my friends who don't listen to rap music at all. They're I go back home. They're suck my doing that shit. I was oh, that's fucking funny, man. But I wish I knew the science of that. But I don't. You just release it. I think you just make things that you think is dope, and then you put it out there, and then it's for other people to decide, I guess.
I think that is what it is, right? I think the like you said it there. I think you nailed it right at the end. It's for other people to decide, right? Because I think if we go back, and as humans, we're very pattern based. We do a lot of things that you can kind of go, there's a pattern to it, right? And that's kind of how we operate. Exactly. As people, right? But I think kind of trying to understand why other people like something is just you're gonna beat a dead horse trying to figure it out. Because I've done things, and I'm sure you've done things as well, where you're man, this is such a great fucking episode. This is such a great song. This is going up. This track's gonna blow up. Man, I put so much heart and soul into this one, and then it's there's something wrong with it, or there's not enough feedback, or there's not a lot of awareness around it, and you're oh, that.
It just it's just I don't know, man. It just sometimes it's just timing, I guess. I guess everything. When I released that record, it was in the prime time summer. Pandemic was starting to slow down, so people were trying to get out.
Yeah, it was perfect time.
And it just helped. And then obviously a couple of my friends, I think I showed a couple friends early on, and they were really loved it right away. So
nice.
That was cool, but. Yeah, man. I don't think I'll ever know what it takes. I think it's just you make the best ish possible, put it out there, and then.
And I think that's it, right? I think it's consistency thing. That's why people put out albums, but I'm I only like one or two songs on the album.
That's it, man. Some people think you should only put man, this is a big thing with artists. Artists nowadays, especially because we're such a playlist dominated Like that's how you get plays, like
It
on
seems that way,
Spotify
yeah.
and stuff. You got to get playlisted by random people and stuff. And then it triggers the algorithm, you know?
Okay.
So once you get on play, yeah. That's...
Dude.
So people are like, what's the point of releasing, like, a whole project when it's just going to be one song on those playlists, you know, that are, like, keeping it going crazy. But,
Alright.
like, I think there is a thing about putting, like, a body of work together and releasing it all at once. I think, like... I don't know what it is. I think it, like... I think it shows your development as an artist, I guess. You know?
Yeah, like we were here and then here. Whereas I feel if people put out like EPs and albums, I feel as they're very, very, just from like an outsider perspective, I feel they're very focused on like, okay, this is the project I'm working on. This is the next project. This is what I learned from the last project I did. And then this is where we are now. This is how I kind of developed it to meet my sound, right? Exactly. And I think doing that versus I'm just gonna put out a song. I find it hard to take artists, and I say when I use the term artist, I mean people starting out in music and people who are new or newer to it, or people who have been doing it for a while and haven't got like quite the recognition that they probably like should have.
Yeah.
I find it's hard for me to take them seriously when they're doing like, oh, one song here.
Yeah, and
one
then
song there.
Take a month, 2-3 month break.
And
it's hard.
I'm like, it sounds exactly the same. It's just you're talking about a different girl. I'm
yeah,
like, you know, I'm like, I don't.
Happen,
yeah, so there's not much growth shown over 2.5 minutes and another 2. And I'm like, it's tricky, right?
Man. That's when I was releasing. So this EP, man. To be honest, I should have released it like all these songs, basically, except for like maybe 1 or 2, were done last summer, which is like stupid how long I like took like in my mind. But that was the biggest thing for me. Is like, do I release all as singles? But then I'm like, that's gonna be like months and months and months and months of like being like releasing apart from each other.
Very much, yeah.
And I'm like musically, I've already done songs that are like way crazier than these ones now. So I'm like I gotta release everything. And I'm gonna like, you know, that's a good first EP. This is what I wanted the first EP to kind of like sound like. And now I'm interested in like seeing what I could do further and like, you know, getting visuals involved and like a bunch of. I just want, you know, keep on going up. You know, I just wanted to keep on going up, keep on elevating.
So with that, can you describe to me and everybody watching and or listening, describe your sound to me? My
sound, man, that's tough.
You've gone through a few different genres that you've mentioned. You've been influenced kind of growing up by multiple different like opposite ends, like everything from punk, like punk to Afro music, right? A little different from each other. You know, I'm no expert, but from what I know. So man, so like, do you know what, lately I've been getting so into like rapping, like just really rapping, man. That's like been super fun for me. But my thing is, man, I'm just trying to make, the only way I could really tell is I'm just trying to make good music, man, because that's all I care about. Because like, that's all that matters. That's all people want.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to like, you know what? I'm just trying to put as much as myself on the track. So, you know, it's shit I'd be going through, stuff I'm talking about in my life. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to make it fun. I'm trying to make it like, you know, hits. Not like hits, but like I'm just trying to make like whatever, take the most realist songs to me, and then just trying to make them like bang as much as possible, you know? Yeah. So, like, man, it's so tough with me because that's the thing I go through. Because I do I try to do like almost every genre, you know. And I work with a lot of people in different genres, so it's hard to just like, you know, say, oh, no, I just do hip hop. No, that's like, I want to. Sometimes I like to do the singing shit too. Yeah. Sometimes I like to, you know, like I've written on an EDM song before. I've tried to do some like borderline like country stuff. You know, it's like just I just try to, but either way, I'm trying to, you know, make the most, like, kind of fun, kind of, like, bumping song.
Nice.
As possible out of that, though. So, and, you know, I love melody, too, so anytime I'm not a great singer, but, you know, anytime I could get melodic on a track, with a little help with the auto-tune. Just a lot of help, you know, I'll use it, but, hey, man. But, bro, I'm all over the map, but whatever, I'm just hoping every time you hear a song from me, it's quality, you know? It's gonna be, you know, one that you're like, holy, it kind of takes you aback, you know?
Yeah.
That's the ones I'm trying to make, even more so now, too.
Interesting. So, one thing that I've kind of noticed about, and now you're producer, right? Like, that's your, if you were to give yourself one title.
Do you know what? Do you know what? It's tough. A part of me, you know what? I could say that's like one of my titles, I guess.
Yeah.
But I feel like more so now, like, I feel like I'm more in probably the artist space now.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's been more of like a switch over, because I've done the producing thing and stuff, but now, like, I'd say I'm probably more of like an artist, songwriter type stuff.
You can't fluctuate in between.
/ engineer.
Yeah.
And then / producer.
Yes.
Everything. Bro.
Everything. Hey, man. Like,
yeah, man.
I think it's best to do that way.
Yeah.
To do it that way, and this way there's no separation. You're kind of interconnected with everything, and it makes creating the project, like, you can kind of be involved from start to finish, right?
Everything, man.
So
you get how everything, like, works from, like, bottom to top, which is that's how I did music, because I started from producing. All I wanted to do was produce before. So you're right in that's what I used to do before, and then I kind of was like, whenever you're a producer, you usually help with the songwriting anyways.
Makes sense.
Because you're the best one who understands the beat, right?
Facts. Yeah.
So you're going to know how you want it set up, everything like that. And then, man, if you're a producer, there's no other rappers on there. Sometimes you got to get on your own stuff, and then
get on it.
Bro, it just escalates from there, and that's how I got to, you know, where I am now, I'd say.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
So, with that being said, you've worked in the studio, I'm sure, countless hours.
Yep.
As somebody who kind of just, who's observed and, like, I enjoy stories, so if I hear good stories about, like, producers or artists, I kind of go down into them. So, what I want to know is, the thing with artists that I've noticed and producers is how, and that I respect a lot about people in the music business and industry, is their dedication to their craft, in the sense of they'll work for like 30 hours straight in one space in front of one thing, like weekly basis, to work. Like, it's a passion that I don't think a lot of other industries have within. And I want to know what is, and it could be like length of time and something that happened, or like crazy person in the studio. What is the most ridiculous experience or craziest experience you could think of and share with us that's taken place in the studio?
Okay, so I could probably relate to two experiences.
Nice.
For that.
Okay.
So
sweet.
Me myself, I think it was 2 summers ago. That's when I was like in my like songwriting, rapping like bag, in my opinion, because I like made it. I used to work with like a bunch of people, but I realized like we weren't doing anything. Like, we weren't getting shit. Like, we were like doing it because it was cool. But were we getting stuff done? No, like, never. And I was just like, so we like kind of, I got it back to, it was like a good group who was in our studio. And we kind of, it was good because everybody did their own thing. Like, we weren't kind of like always trying to collab. We'd collab sometimes if there was a purpose for it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everybody's doing their own thing.
Right.
So me, I stopped doing, because I record for other people. I stopped recording for other people, like for like, say probably like a month.
Yeah.
So I could learn how to make my own songs, man. And like, dude, I was putting in like I would go to the studio for like 6-7 hours straight, try to do like 2 or 3 songs.
Jeez.
Yeah, like it was stupid. Like I was doing that like 3-4 days in a row. I had like no life.
Yeah.
But the music was like getting so good, and I was like so tapped in that like that's when it was weird, man. Like people were starting to like, I was like, okay, I was getting so focused on the artwork and like just all the little minute stuff that helps you out. And I was noticing the difference on like my like people engaging in it and stuff, right? So I think my first release, I got like the most plays like I ever did off like one like
amazing
before, like from what I did before, because I was just releasing. There was like no effort into it. And then like, bro, it's like people were like real serious people were hitting me up too, man. It was like PR like places and stuff were like, hey, like, yo, we listen to this song, we want to get you on like conference call to like I know it was like weird, but like those guys, like when you go like higher up, they deal with you like you're a label artist, which is like, man, the amount of money those guys spend on like marketing and stuff like that is like,
it's ridiculous.
Too stupid. It's like, I was like, I'm not at that point yet.
Like, you're like, let me get.
They're like, oh, you don't have like management or anything like that, or
you're like, management.
I'm like, bro,
I don't have an EP yet.
That's it. I was like, this is my first 2 songs, like whatever. But
jeez,
man, I was so locked in. I was just doing, and I was like, it was the first time I guess I was like, instead of like competing with, or like comparing music with the people around me, I was comparing with the music with the people like on the internet and like Discord chats and stuff like that. Because these, bro, this one Discord I was in, it was like a bunch of producers and a bunch of artists and stuff. And man, like the quality some of these kids do, like just in their bedroom, is like
with their fucking laptop.
Bro, I had this kid who was like 16, man. He's 16. He made like, he said he was making 40 beats a day, and just every beat just a banger.
Every single one.
Yeah. And bro, this guy wasn't even signed yet or anything. He was just like, he's like some point, but he's like, for now it's just a fun thing. I'm like, dude, like you're a serious like producer.
Jeez.
Going crazy, man. But yeah, I don't know. Like I just went crazy for that time period anyways, man. But
that's amazing.
And yeah, that you kind of need to. I always try to learn off like certain people, but yeah, man, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You said you have 2. You mentioned what's the second crazy studio experience that you can share?
This is like on the engineer side, so I also engineer like record, which like engineer basically is you're just the guy, like I guess like the guy in the booth or like on the outside of the booth who's just recording the people and making sure their voice is right. This, I won't say who, they'll probably know who they are, and I almost respect them for this. Like I don't even hate on them because of this, but bro, this guy had guaranteed the most takes out of anybody I've ever seen recording like on a song, because he was like, if you know like what punching in is.
No. For everybody.
So punching in is like, okay, like I need to go, like you just punch them in at this certain spot. So I want to say this here.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
Okay, let me pull it to the spot, punch you in. So, but they'll literally punch in lines. Like they'll just say, yeah, da 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 da, and then okay, cut it, and then on to the next bar. Or they'll be like, that's not good enough. We got to do that line, and they'll like, dun, 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 the whole song, you know. This guy, man, he likes to do that the whole song.
Oh no! Was that like typically three and a half minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes?
Bro,
of
sometimes
length of the song. I mean,
it'll be like so it'll be, the song usually be like 3-4 minutes long,
makes sense.
whatever.
Yeah.
But to do like all the little individual recording parts, you know, that might take an hour to do because he might not like a little bit of the spots.
Super picky for sure.
But then, bro, he was so picky that he would be like, okay, now I have the reference. So this is just the stuff to listen so I know what it sounds like. Now I want to go over it again and try to do it all one take.
What are you saying?
Yeah. This guy he's a wild man. So then he would go over that, and then I'd be like, okay, this would be like probably 2-3 hours in. And you know, like, recording's not cheap. Especially, like, it's not cheap.
Oh man, if they're paying you.
But yeah, I don't care. Like, I'll
yeah,
go.
You're like, hey man, if you're paying me, let's go.
I'm like, but he wanted stuff so specific. I'm like, okay, like, I'm kind of, you kind of respect that because it's like, yo, he's putting in so much like perfection. But then he'll come back another day on the same record and still piecing those little things. Like, I need to fix this.
No,
and bro, man, this like at the end of the thing. I looked at my like record because usually in a session I'll probably do like, I'd say the most takes usually is like from like a average person like probably like 40. Like
yeah, I was gonna say
takes,
like probably 40, 30 to 50.
Yeah, you know, yeah, exactly. Bro, this guy, it was like, all I seen was I open up like the amount of takes, my whole computer screen fills up. So that means there had to be like at least 300 to 400.
What are you saying?
Yeah, so that's just like doing that like a bunch of times.
Stop.
I'm like,
Start.
I'm like, me, I don't think I could ever record like that because to me that's like,
does that not
I
kill?
can't stop the. Do you know what? Like
yeah, it kills your flow. Like, it would kill the process.
That's what I would think, but if the whole idea when you come in to like record and like make music or like make a track anyway, like once you're trying to like make a record, you're trying to make that you're not trying to just get out the record. You're trying to make like that the record. You're trying to make it the best as possible as you can.
Right.
So he has the right mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's cool to make a record, but you need to perfect it. It needs to be like mastered and you know, mixed properly and everything like that. Which that's a problem with that's a problem when you hear like certain artists. I always knew that. I always knew that in my mind. Like when I would hear like people doing, because there was like guys who would record from my like hometown, like they would record like little stuff and they'd be like, oh bro, this is like sick, you know, those ones, you know, but then you'd like hear the quality and you'd be like, this doesn't sound like what's on like the radio.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know,
like,
my expectation is all the best stuff because that's all the
you're
general population hears,
bro,
right?
You're not gonna go listen to you know. So I was always like, my whole thing, man, I was like, how do you get there?
Yeah.
I was like, there's a way to get there, but why isn't like nobody? Why is nobody getting there from here?
Right.
Like, there's got to be people, you know, that know how to get there from there. So one thing you can do is you could pay some guy like crazy amounts of like money, like, cause some of these dudes out here, like they're mixing for bands, which is different than like mixing for like a rapper or like a singer, you know. Yeah. Because that's a lot of tracks. It's like a big deal. Like those guys charge like usually a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But I was like, well, all I really need to do is just learn how to mix the vocals and the beat a little bit. That's got to be easier than doing that. Mm-hmm. And then you know through learning, like a big help was my friend Noah Blackburn. He's in the studio now, but he helped a lot because I heard so I took Cambridge College music production.
Yeah,
for
nice.
1 year. It was good. Okay course. It was not what I was told it was gonna be.
Yeah, what'd you expect it was gonna be?
I don't know. I thought like Timbo was rolling through, you know, and Pharrell. No, I'm joking. But I was just like,
that'd be cool,
bro. Straight up, what cheesed me about that, I went for a little visit, and he showed me like the studio and stuff and whatever. But I because like what most engineers use is a program called Pro Tools, and I was like, hey man, I'm like, I just want to make sure, because I was picking between there and then going to the super expensive school in Toronto.
Yeah.
It's called RSC.
Okay.
It's like 25 bands, I think, for a year. Yeah, it's like some stupid. So yeah, so I was like, I want to make sure I'm like getting. I just want to make sure I'm getting like picking the right spot for me, whatever. So that's a lot of money, but those guys, I was like, yo, do you guys work with Pro Tools? Because that's like the industry standard. So I was like, I want to learn like what the industry people do.
Yeah, don't teach me something nobody's using.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
But this guy's like, yeah, like I'm pretty sure they use that, like whatever. I should have stopped there.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, man.
And I realized,
oh yeah, for sure. I know it. No.
Yeah, bro. These guys don't. So most of the people there are like classical like people. So they're very good at doing that stuff, but they don't know shit about recording. Except for Billy. Shout out to Billy Brumholler. Really good teacher there. Like he's good. He knew his shit. But none of those guys, like, they don't pay attention to that program. They just want everyone to move into the classical music where it takes them 3 years. But you become really good at, like, learning piano or singing, like, classical music. But that's not what I do.
No, you kind of just want to fine-tune some specifics and then set you in the right direction.
So when I went in that course, bro, they were using some random... They were using... it's not a random program, but it's... It's Cubase, which is like not for me. I'll say that it was not. And Billy was cool enough to be like, "Hey, man," he's like, "I see where you're at with your program." He's like, "You don't need to learn Cubase."
No,
he's
don't
like,
learn this completely.
He just like use this time to like work on your stuff, and he's like, just send me the projects. So he's like, once you're like done making a beat or something, he's like, send me that. On
your program, like on...
yeah, because all I have to do is just send him an MP3, right? And then you can just listen to that.
Just do it on whatever you're using.
So, I almost learned more from, like, guys who were in the program. Because they would teach me stuff. Because we were all learning... Everybody there, you kind of learn on your own anyways. Yeah. So, I would learn, stuff. One of the first weeks, he didn't stay in the course for too long, but... I had this guy named Noah Blackburn in my course. And it's this like little like kind of like he's not like nerdy like dude, but like just like I didn't know what to expect. He's like, yo, he's like, you make music, and I was like, oh, like I make beats. And he's like, oh shit, he's like I rap, man, like and whatever. And I was like, you're a little skeptical at first, bro, but this guy
just lays him down.
Amazing,
dude.
And I'm like,
that's
awesome. The perfect. And like the first thing I'm like thinking, I'm like, yo, like, who is mixing his voice? Because his voice is actually sounding like it's quality, Nice. And he's like, I'm mixing the records.
Jeez.
Automatically, he was like one of you wouldn't even expect it with him because he didn't know how to do the producing stuff, but he was probably a better engineer than most of the people there already. Just off that of what you could hear. So I was like, okay, I gotta learn whatever he learned. So we started working together. He hopped in the studio with us for a bit, and he was a good person to like pick his brain about certain stuff because he knew a lot about like little quirks with engineering. Just because he knew he would learn off YouTube like a couple of other, but he was going to the right guys that knew like the proper stuff. So I learned a lot off him. I learned a lot. I had another friend who was like, his name was like Tyler. This guy is just talented, man. Good singer.
Nice.
He used to be he said he used to be in a punk band when, like, I guess, like, he told me Sudbury used to actually have, like, a good punk scene out here or something.
I have no idea.
Yeah, he said but he was older. He was, like, 27, 28. Yeah, so he was a little bit older, but, bro, this guy almost got signed, man. That's what he told me. He said he was close, but I guess, like, our promoter out here screwed a bunch of stuff up for a lot of people, and then that just axed like a bunch of their stuff. So, I was learning a lot off those guys, and then, I don't know. I realized like for music stuff, you don't really need school. Will only take you so far.
Right.
Connections and learning stuff on like with your colleagues will like get you way further. I find.
I found too, school specifically, because education and school get mixed up a lot, but I think schooling specifically helps you develop a certain set of skills for a specific job.
Yeah,
right? And that's kind of what I found is tough with a lot of programs. But what is cool, though, is, like you said, you're self-learning. You're there because you want to learn and you're able to learn. You kind of develop an ability to do that. And then I found, at least with myself, it was very... the people you meet kind of steer you in different directions of, like... I never thought I'd be doing like a podcast or working or running the business that we're running, and then at the same time like training jiu-jitsu and doing all these things and meeting these people. I'm like, where I started before like 6-7 years ago, I'm like, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
it's like
cool.
But you can kind of piece together the people that kind of came into your life, and you're like, this person has something I want to learn about. Like, this person does this well. Let's pick their brain. And that's all this kind of has become, where it's just, oh, you have a cool story? I want to hear it. Sit down. Or like, exactly. Oh, I want to pick your brain about an industry or something that I'm not aware of.
Bro, this is actually almost like a hack, eh? For getting, like, you can talk to almost, like, anybody.
It's like, the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, okay, that's
right? Like,
shit, yeah.
This is episode 81. And don't get me wrong, get me wrong, dude. There was a handful of episodes where I didn't learn a fucking thing. Okay, like that could have been the Muppets I had on, or it could have been it was probably my fault. To be honest, it was probably my fault.
Bro, everybody's gotta learn.
Yeah,
you gotta learn.
But with that, that's what I've been saying lately to people. I've told a couple people this last couple months, where I was like, when I started listening to podcasts, I was so like baffled at how much I was learning. I was basically listening to two experts talk. But then I was like, how do I learn more from this? I'm like, oh, start my own. Right? And then, I learned how to press a couple record buttons and figure out what type of mics and cameras to get.
Man. Bro, so many people want to start You should have seen, so in my studio, there's a couple guys who wanted to start like a podcast between us. And I was like, I need to know what we're doing. Like, I don't want to just start a podcast to just start one for... You actually had a goal. You're like, I want to learn a little more stuff. Exactly. Yeah. You came in with like but man, I feel like that's also an issue, bro. When you go into, like, you're doing something a lot of people want to do, right?
Right.
But man, how many people like you come up to you and probably are like, oh, maybe we should start like doing something together and stuff like that, but they want to do it for the wrong reasons, and you could tell that right off the bat.
Yeah, they've had a few. I had one, like, I think mid last week, and it was a very, very weird interaction. But she just, like, texted me and friend, but she wanted to do a bunch of ideas, and I was like, I don't have time for this. No. And like, the problem is, the one thing I tell people, there's a lot of people I know that have started podcasts, and they just... I'm like, yo, if you're going to do something, be consistent at it. And I think consistency is the biggest thing. Biggest thing, right? Biggest thing, like, man. It's... Dude, I can't describe it. It's very, very... I'm like, doing a podcast is pretty simple. But where I'm like, oh, you see us now, it's not easy. I mean, it seems easy. It seems whatever.
But little stuff, just to get there,
But to book a guest, meet with them, and then meet with them in person within the span of 5 to 7 days, and make sure you have something every week to do. But in order to do that, I do that for X amount of years, but I love doing it regardless. So it's like, and then people are like, oh, crazy, man, this is wild what you're doing. It's starting to impact. So doing that is... Consistency is key, man.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Because it's like a real... Like, it starts to be like... I don't know, it starts to be like not a thing you're like... what's it called? It's not a thing... Because there's, I think, anytime you tell somebody you're going to do something, there's like, okay, yeah, sure, you're going to do that, whatever. Yeah. And that's what so many people would like tell. Like, my one friend, he actually lived with me when I was in school, like just starting out. Nice. And he's like, bro, I'd see you on this piano. I'd be like, oh, like, what the fuck is he doing? You know, like, why, like, whatever. And I'm like, dude, he's like, you went, he's like, he's like, holy shit, man, like, you're making crazy stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't stop. That was the one thing. I just consistent, man. I feel like that's where, man, that's why I really think, like, I'll have a bunch of people in my studio and it'll be like, I have a hard time telling people, like, no, you're like, you can't do this or you can't do this certain thing, whatever. I'll tell them what not to do on a track just so it doesn't sound dumb. But you know,
hey man, yeah,
exactly. You know, that's why you had the initial conversation before. You know,
dude.
But like,
that's why,
man, just that. I don't know. If anybody just stays consistent on something, bro, I feel like you could really do whatever the fuck you want to do.
And like you said too, with your earlier example, where you're like, dude, I got way more growth, and I didn't even promote it.
Yeah.
Right. And I can imagine that being like pay to promote type thing.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's like I didn't put a nickel into it last year, and way more people watched it. But I was more consistent. I learned from it,
more,
right?
Yeah.
So you release more, and the stuff's better because doing it a lot and you know, it's you put a pressure on yourself, and then it's if you're not ready. But I think it's like, wow, you're kind of like you said earlier, right? You're at the people's disposal, I guess, and people are very, very, very critical because everybody's an expert in everything, but nobody knows anything, right?
Exactly,
like, oh, that song's not that good. I'm like, well, what am I comparing it to? The 7 songs I hear every day on the radio?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, man. And
that's not fair.
That shit is like, I can get into how that's so pushed towards people. Like, man, the hardest thing about music is not even like making music. It's like marketing music is like the weirdest thing because it's so crazy because like, man, trust me, I bet there's probably like 100 people who try to get their song like in Sudbury on 93.5.
Probably.
The only time they ever get it is when there's like that charity shit and you gotta pay to get it on. But that's what I hear. But I heard you have to like, man, like when you hear, like, have you ever heard of payola?
Heard of, yeah.
Payola is basically paying to like get your music played on whatever. So now it could be related a little more to streaming, but say if I wanted to get my song played at like 93.5, you can't just email them, man. Like, and I'm not even sure like they would even let you, even if they could. But man, that's like any like big manager and stuff. They say they pay these guys under the table to like radio like programmers and stuff to get their music played. Even big artists do. So that's why you don't always hear, you know, that's why you hear the biggest, like the same 8 to 10 songs is because, trust me, those
their
guys,
managers. No way.
Or you know what? Their label might own the radio stations anyway.
That's usually it. I feel.
So it might be a little
or
mixture.
Have a cut, right? Like they own 30% or they own shares or whatever. Right?
Well, Spotify I think is owned like mostly by labels and stuff. So like like it's a lot of that. So that's why, you know, like the music industry is a little shady when it comes down to certain stuff because it's so like. So I've gotten, like, I'm 90% sure, like, if you've been in music and you haven't been scanned, that means you haven't really actually tried to do music stuff, you know? Because I feel like, man, try to do internet promotion and stuff, bro, there's so many scammers out there.
Have people tried to scam you before?
Oh, yes.
You're like, no, dude. Jesus.
So crazy, dude. Like,
what's one that you remember? Like, if you can share, like what?
I'll give you one. Holy, I got my money back for this.
Yeah,
which is great.
good.
Yeah,
damn, dude.
Yeah, I know. Luckily, because I've done fraud analyst stuff, so I know exactly how to get your money back.
Fraud analyst stuff, just like watch videos,
like credit card fraud stuff.
Oh, okay.
So like I've worked on like the opposite side of that actually, and like someplace out here. But I know exactly how to get your money back and what you need to get your money back. So I was a little skeptical, but I seen like, because all they got to do, right, to look like they're in the industry is like have a couple pictures of them like looking like have a good IG profile. Yeah. This one guy he had comments from like Tory Lanez and like big artists and stuff. And he hit me up. He's like, "Hey man," I like your music and stuff. He's like, "But I see like you're not getting on like Spotify like the main playlist and stuff." And I'm like, "Nah, man, like I don't really know how to get on there."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Bro, I know a bunch of these they're called curators who choose what gets put on the playlist or not, right?" And he's like, I have their email contacts directly. I'll just get it to them, And he's like, they'll decide basically, which is whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, guaranteed feedback and stuff, and guaranteed like you'll get on some of the playlists at least. You won't get on every single one, but some of them, you know.
Yeah.
So that's where he messed up, because if he was a real scammer, he wouldn't have said any of that, and then I wouldn't get my money back. But he messed up like that. So I think it was like $150 for that, which is, you think it's like crazy, but for music promotion, man, like if you want realistic promotion, people pay thousands of dollars and stuff. So that's light, actually.
Yeah. So when he said 150, I was like, you know, that would have red flagged me.
Do you know what? I would have if I knew, but I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And anyways, it was like, luckily I did promotions with other people who are legit. Yeah. So I got everything ready. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm like, fuck, first week, this is going to be crazy. So first week, I start to see my plays like kind of go up and stuff, whatever, but not...
So you pay the guy at this point.
I paid him.
Starting to see.
A month in advance. It was
damn.
Yeah. But then I was like, okay. But he said he was gonna like, we're gonna go over, like he was gonna talk to me, and we're gonna like go through the stats and like see what we could do better to like. It wasn't just gonna be a one thing. It was gonna be like over the first month type thing.
Right on.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, this guy starts ghosting me at the start of the month. I'm like, broski, like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, what's going on with the promotion? Like, I haven't heard anything back from any of these playlisting people. He's like, give it time, like that type of shit.
Yeah, okay.
Man, it got to a point where I started saying some not so great things to him, whatever. So he's just like, oh, you can't handle how the music industry works. So I start looking up stuff. He was a scammer. I like
he looked on Twitter.
People before. Yeah, looked up
like Reddit and Twitter and everything.
The best thing, Reddit, whole subreddit of how he was like one of the worst scammers on Twitter.
No.
Yeah. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I gotta
find this guy.
It's funny because he. As soon as I started being like, all right, well, I'm just gonna dispute this, I'm gonna get my money back. That's when the responses started coming in hardcore, and he's just
you're just like, yo, man, like, all right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, he's like, don't do that, because they could get away with it if it's not within like the first month or 2 months. So if you're
8 months in,
so if you're like a month, if you're 8 or like 4 months in, and you're like, why isn't the promotion like taken off yet or whatever? Bro, he already has your money. You can't get it back. But if it's within the first month, especially if it's in the first month, you can get that money right back. Jeez. Which is nice. At least I knew that, so.
Yeah. Whatever. You're like, I'm beyond this. After 2 weeks, you're like, yo, not even, or not much, or like, you know, there's the generic growth as you do things, but you're like, I paid for a promise of a lot of stuff, and
bro.
nothing.
Imagine I put like that in like a Facebook ad or something. I would have done way better.
Way better, dude. 100%.
Yeah, like,
what the fuck?
It's crazy, man.
That's ridiculous.
Or a video or something. You know?
Anything, man.
But I'm glad I got that money back. But either way, it was a good lesson to learn, you know. So, like, good to know, man. Yeah.
Speaking of good lessons, lesson for people just starting out.
Man, just start off, man. Just try, man. Whatever. The best thing on right now, the thing that helped me the most now is YouTube. YouTube is like the best for learning anything you really want to learn. Yeah. In my opinion, because especially for starting off, because there's so many. Man, teachers are almost getting replaced by YouTube because there's so many great teachers on YouTube. To start off with, I'll say that. To start off with, like once you get a little more advanced.
You need to find mentors in the industry that have done or are doing something similar to what you want to do.
Connections always help, you know. Yeah. There's always somebody in your area that could help you out a little bit, you know.
Always, yeah. Like I know a handful of like good musicians, good like in different genres and everything and stuff. And there's people out there, and I've told a couple friends of mine who are like, my cousins has like a couple 15-year-old friends, and I'm like, they're like. the last couple, they actually can help me put this thing up.
Oh
yeah, dude, yeah, they're ripping boards with me. It was fun. The hammer was too big. I like gave Buddy the hammer. So I'm like pry off the pallets, right? Like rip them off, and they're just like I don't know. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Just stand there. Just sweep up the dust.
Yeah, that's so
but dude, so I was like, what do you want to do? And the kid's like, I'm like music. And I was like, okay. I'm like, surround yourself with people doing it. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, literally word for word I said. I'm like, find out where people are recording music and be there. Yeah. You just literally sit there and listen and observe. Stay there for 10 hours. I'm like, if you wanted to, like, whatever it takes, man. I'm like, listen, get into it, man. I'm like, that's the thing. I'm like, you want to, but I'm like, fucking start, man.
Yeah, some people, like, it's weird, man, because you gotta, like, especially when you're getting into stuff like that, like your whole friend group like can change so it's very like your life changes a little bit, so that's why I think people get a little scared of, because you get comfortable, and then but me that's being comfortable is like makes me uncomfortable. Does that make sense?
It's weird.
When I feel like I'm too that's man, to be honest, that's how I'm feeling in music right now. I feel like a little too comfortable right now. Like too like I know what everything's going on. I haven't like had a change in a minute. Mm-hmm. So like it's good to have changes, That's the growth, man.
I think it's just setting different goals, right? Yeah. I think goal setting is where it's huge, because I found the times I've found myself looking back and the times I've seen myself and felt that I'm like, I'm plateauing here, I'm plateauing there, or why is it doing this, why is it doing that? I'm like, oh, because I don't have a goal with this right now. There's long-term goals, but short-term goals are what keep you energetic or enthusiastic towards certain projects, right? So like with this, for example, I was doing like twice a month, and it's not really that consistent enough, so I found myself like kind of plateauing. Not to say not wanting to do the show, but not being so ambitious to go like reach out to people, get conversations going and stuff. And then so I was like, hey, how do I do this? And then I talked to a couple people, I moved, I got like new studio set up, I got multiple different people coming on, and started doing this thing on the table with the signatures and stuff, and like all these little things that have kind of made it fun, like this creative way. And then I'm not like, it's not a hassle trying to like ask somebody or go to the gym when people aren't training to record and set up with somebody, and then the audio is always not great, so whereas now it's like everything's kind of on the up and up, and then it's consistent, and then there's a challenge every week, right? Yeah. And it's like, okay, I want to do this, or I want to get these people on, or I want to talk about this next week, or who do I have on to talk about this, or I want to learn about this, I'm going to reach out to this person. And yeah, I think short-term goals are huge to help get over that like plateau when you're doing things. So
bro, I need to hear that, man, to be honest, because
no problem.
I haven't set goals for myself in a minute, which I think next year, that's what I really want. Like, I want to hit, there's goals in my head I always have, but
for sure,
I think it's better when you write them down, when it's a little more like concrete.
So one of my best friends right now, his name's Matt, and he's going to really, really inspiring spiritual guy. He's going to attempt this summer to be the first person to swim around Manitoulin Island. It's 400 kilometers on Lake Huron. It's kind of insane. It's going to be absurd. He's already swam Wanapitei, Ramsey, whatever. So anyways, that's a
long trip, bro.
That's a lot.
That's 2 hours to get across the
island. Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
That's where I'm from, bro.
Yeah. Dude, it's gonna be fun to be a part of that. But that's cool. Yeah, what the point is with him is whenever I hang out with him and I have to use the bathroom, I go in to use it, and on his mirror he's got like the border of his mirror is just sticky notes with goals written out.
So he sees that every day.
Every single day. Every time he takes a piss. Every time he washes his hands. Every time he goes to a shower. Not just at the beginning of the night and the end of the night. It's every time he's at home going to the bathroom. Anytime one of his friends goes to see it. Right? So it's just a constant manifestation. So it's like manifestation. His friends are like, oh yeah, okay. There's an accountability to yourself. There's a manifestation of it that you create in like the universe. And then there's now your friends are also going, yo man, you're doing it, and it almost goes, like an interest, and you can kind of, you're always talking about it and you're always focused on it. It's always in your head, and then every single day you do something related to helping your goals get achieved, right? Like if I go through a weekend where I'm doing nothing for the podcast, or nothing for work, for the business, or nothing for like guitar, or nothing for like training, I'm like, feel like shit. It's a depressing weekend. But I'm like, if I just reach out to this person, or do some research about a guest, or set up my studio this way, it's like just anything towards a goal every day, you kind of have that slow uphill, like slow peak,
because it goes,
it's a good incline.
I noticed, because it is weird how it ends up like that once you write your goals out and you see that shit every day.
It is weird because it just happens. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's just because I guess in something in your mind like just keys that in.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it becomes subconscious at that point, and then you're not always having to think about it. It just kind of, you put it in the back of your brain and it thinks about it on its own.
It's crazy. Man, because I used to work out at this little gym, and there was like little sayings like that, like all little like around, but it was like, it was very like just like post-it notes type deal, whatever, kind of same thing.
Nice.
But that would help me. Like, just because I'm not a big workout guy, like, I don't work out all the time, but, man, that gym was, like, when I was going to that gym, I was going there, like, a lot, like, more so, even it was at my work, so I would go on breaks and stuff, just, like, just weird stuff, and I'd just be reading that shit to myself. It's like, okay, that, like, it does do something to do that stuff, and then, bro, I remember writing my goals for music one time, but I would just, like, read it, but I really actively wasn't, like, working too hard toward it, because I was, like, when I first started out, but, bro, I looked at all, like, kind of the stats of the end of the year, I hit every single one of them. I know, I was like, holy fuck.
You hit it without, like, being conscious of it.
No, because I knew I was working, but I wasn't, like, I felt like I wasn't even, like, working toward, I was, like, I was just, like, I'm gonna work every weekend, or like not even every weekend, every day, and I guess it's gotta happen at some point, whatever. But
for sure,
smashed it. It was like, I need to produce a certain amount of songs, I need to record whatever this amount of people. Royal body that though.
Nice,
it's nice, man. But not even like active. So I want to see now what happens if you're, because that's inspiring to me too. That this guy's gonna swim all around that. Oh, that's crazy.
It's kind of ridiculous. The more every time I think about it. But and it's worked. Like, it's worked. People operating on a different level do those things. Yeah. And that's the difference between, I think, people who are trying to do something well, and then people at the, like, elite level doing it. Yeah. Right? Like, that's the difference. I think it's those things where they put such an emphasis on consistency and building good habits, and their goals are like very, very specific, and then they make them happen by, in this case of my good buddies, that's how he does it, where it's like on his mirror every day. Dude, I read his goals every time I wash my hands. Yeah, I see that mirror 3 times, like a couple times I visit.
You might do that shit.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to. No, I don't have that much time to do. But yeah, so that's kind of the way I look at that. Like, I'd be interested to hear, like, if you do that, let me know how that kind of goes. Even if you just, like, you put it there, you don't even read them all even if you just read them every day, or just read them all out loud. And like, I want to do this, or I will do that, and then just read it out loud while you're washing your hands. Be like, oh, I want to have 100,000 subscribed by this. But those are weird. Those are weird ones. Yeah,
numbers ones are a little weird because it's like,
that was just an easy example.
But if you really, like, think about it, like, you can say you don't hit it. You don't hit the 100,000 at the end of the year. But it's like, say you got like 25, 30,000.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? That's like a crazy jump.
Still not bad at all, yeah.
You know, like it's like setting goals and, you know, not achieving them, you know, they're not like the great, like as long as you're working towards them. That's
right,
all that
and
matters.
all that is the process, right? These short-term goals are the process that you get to enjoy on the road to that, like, final destination.
Exactly.
Right.
It's an interesting thing, man. Like, but you know, now that you guys say it, like, I'm gonna do that.
We'll touch base in like 6 months in the summer when my buddy goes to do that. I'll be like, yo, how's it going with it? I'll keep in touch about that because I'm really intrigued to see how it works for you.
Yeah, because I feel like I need right now, man. I'm such in a like I'm in a weird spot. Like I'm in a it's a little stagnant, but it's a good spot still, but it's like
it could be a season too, like the season's weird.
Yeah, you know, it's like
cold, there's no much
pandemic's fucking ramping up again.
Yeah, it's going up and down, but it's ridiculous. So
but
I'd be intrigued to see how that I'm really intrigued to see how that kind of formulates for you, because then I think now is a good time when people need to like reflect, think about it, and that's why you can set your goals for the beginning of the year, and this is just kind of how it works. And that's when people are like, not new year, new me, same me, but just better.
Yeah, it's just a little bit better,
You're trying to better yourself. I'm not going to do a completely different spin around where I'm going to start now making music, start training competitive baseball. No, there's none of that. But it's like, hey, now we're going to I want you just update your goal list. Just refresh the page, dude.
You know? That's man, that's like, I think where I'm at, man, and fuck this, it's probably almost will like sound a little cocky, but I find once you start to get good at something, it's hard to get like better at it. Yeah. You know, unless you're around like guys who are just like hitters
at that elite
like
level,
just crazy. Like that's why sparring, man. You can't always stay at your gym forever. No. You need to start going to those crazy.
You have
gyms,
to,
you know?
You have to.
So that's a weird thing for me now. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to like go up with the and I'm already like with the people in, I'd say here. I feel like musically I'm with the like
for sure
the hitters
100%,
that like are really good, but like man, I can't say that for Canada. I can't say that for the whole United States.
Yet, no.
You know,
yeah.
So that's where I want to get to, because I want to get in the industry. I want to get a foot in the industry, and then I could say goodbye to regular work life. You know, I'm not gonna do that ish anymore. You know.
Interesting.
But out here, that's why it's like it's a weird stagnant kind of position. That's the same with a lot of my like people who I work with, bro. They're at the position, they're good enough to like kind of make the next step, but it's hard to make the next step out of Sudbury, you know?
Yeah, I think the way would almost next time you go to Toronto, let me know, or make an attempt to go to Toronto in the new year. I'll link you up with one of my buddies. He's at Ryerson, and I think he's been doing audio engineering for like ever.
Oh, he's been working on it for a minute.
Yeah, man. He was on my podcast way back when one of the first 12 episodes, first 15 episodes.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
got on early.
So, back in the day, you know. And so he's like, yeah, he's a really good guy. I love the guy to bits, but he's and that's kind of his thing, and he's in the scene in Toronto, but I don't think he wants to do it full time. I think that's just not his thing. It's a very big hobby passion project, but he knows
a bunch of people in that
of people. So I think if you have a good portfolio and you're hang out, and he's not just like somebody I met last year. Like I've been boys with him for like at least 8 years.
Oh, so you know him.
I know him.
Yeah, bro, I'm always down to like, man, when people used to tell me that shit, I used to be like, no. I can't, I don't know why, like in my head I couldn't like, I'm like, to be honest, I get along with anybody. Yeah. I feel like, but it's just like, I'm sure I would, bro, before, that's another thing for people who are starting out, bro. If you're like one of those people who has like super like kind of like anxiety and shit, and you want to get into like a certain field, bro, you need to break that. You need to find some way to get out of that, because that shit will that shit is almost like just as important as just starting, man.
Yeah.
Because like, you don't make connections, like you're not gonna go anywhere. Like not at all. So somebody tells you about somebody who can help you out, bro. You should at least attempt to try to hit them up, or something.
And I think a worst case scenario, at least for you specifically, my buddy Zach, shout out to you, Zach. He very, very, at the very worst case scenario, you meet a cool dude and he shows you around Toronto.
That's it. Yeah, I'm good with that, bro. I love Toronto, man.
So
Toronto's one of my favorite spots.
Every time I go see him, it's like I see it differently when I'm with him. It brings me up for festivals, or it brings me here, or like go to these weird neighborhoods and I see some things, and then I'm like,
bro, people in when you go
everywhere.
It's so much better when you go travel around Toronto with somebody who lives there.
You have to. You can't just go as a tourist. It's not a tourist city.
I went to Toronto, like, cause all my family's from Toronto. So like, bro, I'm so going out with my brother and stuff. He'll take me out to like the little, the cool spots. Yeah. But
nice.
Man, every time I go like with people like who live out here, bro, we're always doing Wonderland or like,
shopping or looking at things like, we can see the CN Tower the moment we get there.
That's exactly.
It just gets bigger when we get closer. That's it.
Exactly. It's just all the cool little like, because I think that's what makes Toronto so cool is like the multicultural kind of like
it's very
cool
diverse
little places,
That's
I think
true.
That makes Toronto more so in the like big like crazy shit, but.
Interesting.
Good city,
man. I'll set you up with him. Yeah, next time you're, let me know.
Yo, it might be because I want to go. There's this thing. I might be a little too late for it, but there's like some sort of writing session. I might be going down there.
That's fucking
end
cool.
of January. Yeah,
it's perfect. Hey man, if he's in town, if he's in Toronto, like I'll touch base and be like, he in town, link up with this guy. It's my buddy. Blah blah blah. Here's his number, and then I'll put the ball in his court to. Figure it out with you,
Always down, man. I'm easy to link out with, man. As soon as you hit me up, I was like,
man, let's do it for sure.
That's it, man.
Right on. So, do you have any, as we kind of close today, do you have any like last minute pieces of advice or things that, whether it be artists working with you or people starting out or everything, you've gone through a lot of good stuff, but do you have any like big thing or simple lesson or thing that you want people to resonate with?
Yeah, man. Okay. So, yeah, I guess so. Like, just taking from that's a good question. But, like, taking from my life, I guess, was, bro, I grew up in, like, a small-ass place. Where me and A-Rod grew up on the island, man.
Very small place. Shout out to him. I know he did not want us talking about it. Like, I had all, he's like...
Shout out A-Rod. I'll still talk to him. I don't care. He told you that too, eh?
He did tell me.
A-Rod, you're on the podcast.
He's gonna watch this and be like, I hate you guys. He's gonna threaten me.
I love A-Rod.
I love him to death, dude.
Yeah. Such a good dude. Okay, anyways, but, man, when you come from, like, I find when you come from, like, a small place, like, there's not, like, you don't see a bunch of people doing, like, kind of the craziest stuff or, like, different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, doesn't, like, what my one good friend, Jesse Bone, shout out to Jesse Bone, he's actually one of the initial reasons why, like, he was the guy who was like, what does it take to start to make music? He was that guy with me, man. So shout out to him, man, because if I wouldn't be doing music the way I'd be doing if it wasn't for him. So, man, it's just, when you come from, like, a small place like that, you don't think you could do, like, that kind of stuff. And a lot of people tell you can't really do it. But, man, it's like anything, bro. It's like you put in the work. I used to love, like, watching Kobe. Like, Kobe's documentaries. Because Kobe is, like, he was so crazy the way he, like, thought about, like... Because if you really look at Kobe, there's nothing really, like... He's a big guy, like, maybe 6'8", whatever. I guess he's, like...
But he's not, like, 7'11".
He's not like LeBron or, like, anybody, like, crazy like that, but... Kobe was like, he trained the way he like competed and trained. He's like there's no possible way you could be better than me, because I'm gonna be in the gym like every single day. I'm gonna be training 3-4 times a day. And he's like, when you leave, I'm still gonna be putting shots up. Like, that was his mentality. That's why they call it Mamba mentality, because there was, I guess, like, his first playoff series or something. He like, he airballed. It was a famous game for him because he airballed so many threes in a row. Like, it was, like, crazy. That was, like, the game, like, because he's so clutch. Everybody knows Kobe, you know? Yeah. But that game, he was, like, trash. Like, he played bad. He came back to LA, said he, like, put up, like, 500 to, like, 1,000 shots or something like that. And he's like, I can guarantee that's never going to happen to me ever again because the work I'm going to put in.
To make sure that never happens.
Exactly.
Again.
So, man, I used to watch those and I'd be like, okay, like, you know, like, he wasn't always, like, that guy. Like, these guys aren't always these guys. There's a work ethic to get there, you know? So, I was like, man, if I'm really going to do this, bro, I'm going to have to put in that stupid, like, work ethic. And I'm not even, like, there where I want to be yet. So, like, and I think my work ethic was better when I started out, I feel like. I think now that I've gotten better, I'm kind of slowed up a bit, which I think I'm learning hard lessons about that now, which I need to ramp it up, but you got to think about it in different ways. It's not about, you know, always getting better at music, because music is different. Music is like, you could, like, work super hard at music, but are you, like, there's a certain element of feeling, you know? Yeah. So you could be, like, you could be in the studio all day, every day, but then you're like, oh, okay, I have no experiences to talk about. Yeah, I've
been outside ever. Yeah,
exactly. Mac Miller talks about that too. He's like, bro, it's not always good to be in the studio all the time.
What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, you're gonna talk about you could talk about how you're the hardest studio rapper in the world, but
even then, maybe not.
No, you're like, okay, I haven't heard any music or anything, you know. So
yeah, interesting. Yeah, you need those outside influences.
You need outside influences. You need to just, you know, have the mentality that, like, you know, no one, like, you can't, like, I'm gonna do this. If I put enough work in, like, the amount of work I put in, like, nobody can tell me anything about what I can do with this thing. You know? That's for everything. Yeah. It's like, because so many people, bro, that's the first thing people say. It's like, oh, no, like, how are you going to do that? No, it sounds bad, whatever. It'll be like, okay, you see me when I'm here, but I'm going to be working every single day, and I'm going to be like, then I'm going to be a little bit better, then I'm going to be a little bit better, and then by the time you look back, I'm going to be like, at a way better level than whatever you'd seen me previously. Yeah. And that's, man, that's what's happening. So it's just, put that work in. Nice. Don't be afraid to start, and then, you know, man, like the people you idolize, man, they all started off at a place where they weren't good. So that's what I always look like, you know. Yeah,
for sure. Right on, brother. Yeah. Well, tell everybody listening and watching at home, where can people find you? Anything, say it.
You could you can find me on IG. I am Yoni. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, literally every streaming platform. I got a YouTube page, just Yoni. Basically all over the place. You can find me at Sound Labs, man. Shout out to Julian and Paul Roulette, man. Those good dudes. And that's, I don't know, man.
Right on, my brother. I'm super grateful. You blessed me with some time tonight. And that's good shit. It's been a long time coming, so I'm glad we made it happen. Appreciate it, man. Really do. Really do. Good right shit. On. Thank you, sir. Good.